Oh man, this is why I love the superhero movies. When you think that you think you're superhero fatigue, watch this movie. Thor Ragnarok is directed by Taika Waititi, who has done What We Do in the Shadows, The Hunt for the Wilder People, stars Chris Hemsworth, Mark Ruffalo, Tom Hiddleston, Kate Blanchett, Anthony Hopkins. The list does go on, and this is a really just a stellar cast. This is the sequel to Thor and Thor: The Dark World. Right there, I can understand if those are like another Thor movie. They're the one of the weakest ones in the MCU franchise, even though they're still good. It's just the weakest. And I can understand that. I did enjoy Thor for the sense of how they brought him to Earth, make him try to relate to other people, make him try to fit in, see that kind of humor go on. The Dark World, it was fun, at least getting back into Thor's world now to kind of counter with Thor and Thor 2. But yeah, when people say like they're the weakest ones, yeah, they're the ones that have like the least impact, and just overall, it's just kind of like the chapter you have to go through get through all these MCU movies. But no, with Ragnarok, I saw potential. The trailers look amazing. They look fun. They look like the Thor and crew were stepping into something more different. Adding the Hulk into this, one of my favorite characters. I love to see this. It's good that he's getting his own, like, basically first non-Avengers movie since The Incredible Hulk, now with Mark Ruffalo, great actor. And really, just overall, the director, Taika Waititi, he brings this humor that is a more unique flavor. Something that just, it builds up and then it gets to the punchline, and it has its purpose with its comedy. So I wanted to see how he would infuse not just his humor but his direction into this movie. What I got with the product was very satisfying. I absolutely loved this movie. Just made me have a smile throughout the whole movie. I was one just thinking, this is why I love seeing superhero movies in the theater. At least when you think you're fatigued and something fresh comes out, it reminds me why I love them. I'm glad it took the Thor world, still had it there, had the core, the emotions of between Thor and Loki, but then also still just inject more stuff into the story, whether it was just Jeff Goldblum's character, the Grandmaster, infused with Hela, just kind of bring them those people's worlds here into Thor's, and then giving us the world of Sakaar, seeing how Thor and Hulk just throw down. You just feel like this actually was a stake where even though Thor didn't want to fight Hulk, just like he's the champion, you understood the motives, and it felt like, they were taking shots at each other. They weren't playing around, but then they had to kind of settle, at an even score, because this is still part of the Avengers and we got to continue on with the story. But the arena battle they had was so fun. Just seeing Thor just go from like trying to find his father to trying to get back to Asgard, trying to adapt to this Sakaar world. Like, what's going on here? Nothing makes sense, but that's what makes sense. It just gave me a whole new, also just expansion into this Marvel universe that we already had from seeing the Avengers, seeing Guardians, seeing this part of the world. It's amazing how we come from Iron Man all the way to now Thor Ragnarok. And one of my favorite parts of this movie is the score. The score was amazing. One of the best the MCU has had. It shows how much music really means. It complements to the movies. This pushed it even further. I like seeing it. Also, when the music's kicking in, I tap to it, and then it just goes with the part of the movie, gives it its own character, its own flavor. Just fun seeing the movie, whether it's a little bit of like synth, a little bit of electronic, goes by as you're watching the movie, and that's make it more enjoyable. Just the overall, even the final battles when you get everybody together, seeing Hulk kick ass with that big wolf, Thor and Hela finally showing down, taking it all, see who wins Asgard. Just taking more unique choices, also what you would not expect from a superhero movie, trying to turn it around. And then the commentary, also how they poke fun a little bit at each other with this property, showing how it's time to change a bit. Sometimes playing the familiar route, but to advance, you kind of have to change things from time to time. Just, and when it needs to be funny, it's funny for a purpose. Just calling back to other movies also is just so good and refreshing. It gave Thor a really awesome, refreshing take on his character, just like Cat was with the Winter Soldier. It's fun seeing everybody else too, like Loki back in this, just showing that, you know, he's that likable villain that you love to hate, and the Hulk showing the new kind of side of him too here from the Incredible Hulk in the Avengers days, seeing him kind of advance here. I'm curious to see how his character goes now in Avengers Infinity War. I love this movie so much. I don't know if you guys can tell already. I'm gonna have to give Thor Ragnarok an A. Let me know, guys, what you thought of this movie. How much fun did you have with this movie? You know, did you not like it or did you love it? All this in the comments below. And as always, Roland Empire, laugh, smile, repeat.